Okay, there's one other thing here that I missed that I want to go back to just so that you know. Let's say you've got your video and you're going to do a selection scenario. So you zoom in, okay, and you get your quick selection tool and you click and hold the mouse down and start dragging to get your selection correct. Okay, we went over this in a previous video. Alright, now look, I'm dragging, picking up, okay, and then let's pretend I'm finished. But you know what? I went too far here, made a mistake, so I hold down the Alt key, I get the minus sign, and I take away a little, right? Okay. Alright, so let's pretend that's all I'm planning on doing. The other thing that you want to do before you finish is click on Refine Edge here. It shows up in the Options panel for the tool, the Quick Selection tool. These are the Quick Selection tool options. And I have Auto Enhance selected. And then I click on Refine Edge, and this is really cool. And then what you can do is you can set your radius, which, let's see here, what did I set it to? The radius is your almost like a feathering, almost like the softness of your selection. I set it to 0.7 and I've got my contrast set to 25%, and then the smoothness is smooth jagged edges. So if you have any jagged edges in your selection, you can smooth them. I set it to 4. Feather the edge, I set it to 1.6 pixels, right? And just wanted like a 1.5 pixel feather. And then contract, expand, I set it to 0. So if you wanted to make your selection bigger or smaller, you could basically enhance your selection if you wanted to expand it or detract it. This is a really useful tool for making sure that your edges are nice. And if you want, you can look at it in this view mode right here, which will give you a better idea maybe in your mask view mode of how it's going to look with a white background, with a red background, the black background. Here this is nice because this shows me exactly if I'm going to get any white dots around the edges and stuff like that. So when I'm done, I click OK, and my selection has just been optimized. Notice when I feathered a little bit, to kind of shrunk the selection a little bit, so I'm missing a little bit of his body here, but that's okay. And then once again, the last thing you're going to do is I usually have to add some more, so I go to Quick Mask Mode, I get my paintbrush and paint white, and I add a little bit more. I change the size of my brush using the bracket keys, and I paint a little bit more what I want. And then to get back to a selection, what do I need to do? Alright, so I've painted, oh, I needed this, I need that, okay, oh good, yeah, I needed that, whoops, I messed up here, okay, I switch back to black, paint that out, right? And then what you want to do is get back to a selection. So you hit the Q again on your keyboard, and that gets you back to a selection. Of course, if you press delete right now, you delete the wrong thing. So Control Z to back out. You need to select, inverse your selection, and then press delete. And now you've deleted the background, and you're ready to go. Okay, so that's the Refine Edge tool with the Quick Selection tool. I wanted to make sure I covered